Get business done with the new American Express Graphite Business Cash Unlimited card. With unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases, unlimited 5% cash back on flights and prepaid hotels booked through American Express Travel Online, and a flexible spending capacity that can grow with your business, you'll have the confidence to keep building. Apply today and earn a welcome offer of $1,500 cash back after you spend $50,000 in qualifying purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of card membership. Terms apply. Learn more at go.amex/graphite.
Hey, how are you? Ready to go for a run?
Running connects us to a rush of energy that flows through our world. The cheers of friends that unlock a new gear within us. The intersection of interests that inspires a run crew. The support that gets you over the finish line. Connection is why we move forward and what inspires us to keep going. Let's run there. Learn more at brooksrunning.com.
So I always like to think of that food noise of if you're constantly thinking about what should I eat next? When should I eat? Is this the right thing? Should it be better? Is this the wrong thing? Mm-hmm. That can be a sign of there might be a tipping point of maybe this isn't so healthy anymore, or it's maybe too healthy, mm-hmm. and it's taking up a lot of mental space. Mm-hmm. Now, as a fellow foodie, I love food. I love thinking about food. But when it comes to the point of, am I eating for checking the boxes instead of am I eating for joy, nourishment, and social well-being? I think that's a very important clue.
Hey everyone, this is Jonathan Marks from Go To Health. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We have another really informative show with a great guest, Dr. Emily Wolbers. She's a naturopathic doctor specializing in gastrointestinal health and the gut-brain connection. Her website is qcnaturalhealth.com. And what we're going to be talking about today is the gut-brain connection. And you know I've done a lot of shows on this, so Dr. Emily is really going to contribute to this body of knowledge about this. She also talks about stress and perfectionism and how this affects our gut health and also our emotional health. So stay tuned. This is going to be a very interesting interview. Dr. Emily Wolbers is recognized as a top naturopathic doctor in the U.S. She's been teaching yoga and mindfulness since 2013 and presents on Mind Body Medicine internationally. She brings warmth to both clinical care and the stage. She sees people in person and virtually, and she integrates her expertise in gut health with her passion for yoga, meditation, and holistic health through an evidence-based lens. Stay with us. You're going to learn a lot. And before we get to Dr. Emily, if you're watching us on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify, please give us a thumbs up or a 5-star review so more people can learn about us. You can also visit us at gotohealthmedia.com and subscribe. Thanks in advance. So welcome to the show, Dr. Emily Wolbers. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Jonathan. I'm doing great.
Good. So first, let's talk about perfectionism. What is it? What are the symptoms? How does somebody know if they have it?
Perfectionism is more common than we'd think, especially in the health sphere, the functional health sphere. I like to think of perfectionism as if you have something called food noise going on in your head, where you're constantly thinking about what should I eat next? What should I not eat? When should I eat? How should I eat? I often think of that as a sign of perfectionism.
Interesting. And is this only about food, or does this must permeate other parts of your life?
It can permeate other parts of the life too. I find that with food, because most people eat every day, most people eat multiple times a day, that is a tipping point of it might be a pattern in other places as well.
Got it. And are we talking about anorexia or bulimia, or is this something separate or in addition to?
It could be anorexia and bulimia being a bit more severe, but there's so many signs of perfectionism that can be in a smaller way or in something that's not diagnosed as well.
Got it. Now, how does perfectionism actually show up physiologically in the body? What's happening? What should people be aware of? What's going on?
So whether we want it or not, perfectionism is a stressor. There's so much pressure that people put on themselves when they want their diet to be perfect, their exercise routine to be perfect, or just every little thing on their desk to be perfect. I say this with all these examples because I know what it's like to feel this, but it is a stressor. And when these signs of perfectionism come in, there is a physiological response in the body that we often see starting with cortisol. Cortisol being the stress hormone. There's a tiny bit of cortisol that's released with each amount of perfectionism. And that can affect the gut. It can affect the brain and how the gut and the brain communicate with each other. Now, we're also seeing some effects on the vagus nerve too.
Good. So let's talk a little bit about that gut-brain connection. Tell us what you know about that.
So I like to break it down into three big things. The three big categories being the vagus nerve, the microbiome, and then how the mood of a person, their emotions, their mental space affects the gut, but then more importantly, how the changes in the gut affect the brain.
Got it. And what role does stress play? I mean, you just mentioned it briefly, but when we're in stress or trying to be perfect or whatever, how does that affect both our gut and our emotions?
This is such a good question. And there's so much juice here. So one of the main things that we see in the research is that cortisol does have a big piece of it, but we can't blame cortisol entirely. So when we're having a stressful experience, cortisol usually rises, but then that also triggers an inflammatory response. What we're seeing in the gut is a couple of shifts. One is we see that the vagus nerve fires in a different way. So the vagus nerve starts in the brain and it attaches to the gut, meaning the stomach, the intestines, the colon. It attaches in several different places, even on the gallbladder and pancreas. But the vagus nerve is our main rest and digest nerve. It's our parasympathetic nerve. So when we're stressed out, the vagus nerve is not firing. So we can't be digesting at the same time that we're stressed out.
Ah, interesting.
So with stress, we see that change in the vagus nerve, when we also see a dialing down of digestion. In the microbiome, here's where we can get a little bit nerdy and we can go.
Okay, we like that.
It feels appropriate. So we're seeing shifts in the microbiome with beneficial bacteria decreasing. And we're also seeing generally less diversity in the microbiome. And one of the things that we know about the microbiome is we're learning more and more all the time. But one of the things that we know is we want good diversity. We want a lot of different bacteria, but especially plethoric amounts of the good bugs, the good guys. And when we're stressed out, we see those good bugs decrease.
So let's talk a little bit more about the microbiome. It really is like an organism that lives within us, isn't it? I mean, you're talking about bacteria, viruses. It's this whole system that's going on inside our gut that's separate from us, right? It's not part of it's not under our control. I mean, I guess we can influence it, as you're talking about.
You hit the nail on the head. It is about 3 to 5 pounds of a human body is the microbiome.
Wow. Okay.
Is amazing to me. But a lot of people think of it as bacteria alone. But you're absolutely right. It's bacteria, it's viruses, it's fungus, yeast, even parasites, especially in some less developed countries. Parasites are a part of normal flora. So this 3 to 5 pounds of microorganisms is in and on us. Diet, stress, and where you live geographically are some of the main things that can shift the microbiome. And then, of course, antibiotics and probiotics can help shift it too.
Sure. You mentioned a little bit before about inflammation. Let's talk about that more, because I keep hearing about that in so many of the shows that we do, that some inflammation is good, too much inflammation is bad. Tell us more about that.
I completely agree with that. We do need some inflammation. So I would put a distinction between inflammation and chronic inflammation. Okay. Chronic inflammation, meaning it's been there for more than 3 months. So there's the inflammation that is the good kind. For example, let's say you're walking around your house and you stub your toe on the coffee table, and then it hurts. Your toe hurts. It gets red. There's swelling and pain. That's actually good inflammation. So when those kinds of things happen, the immune cells are being shuttled to that area of injury.
Mhm.
And that's helpful for the healing process. It's a very important part of the healing process. So we want a certain amount of inflammation, but we don't want inflammation to get stuck.
Mhm.
And when it gets stuck, that can cause chronic inflammation, which does wreak havoc on the gut, on the immune system, on a lot of physiological processes.
Mhm.
One
Yeah.
thing that we're seeing with inflammation, if we're getting to a granular level,
Please.
is down to 3 cytokines. Cytokines being these release signals that it's part of the shuttling process that signals the immune system to come. But we've got IL-1, IL-6, and TNF alpha. These 3 cytokines, they cause inflammation, but we also know that those 3 cytokines are associated with anxiety, depression, and anger. And so we're seeing this confluence happen here with once more how the gut and the brain can communicate, but then also how these signals can affect inflammation, affect the immune system, and then affect our overall well-being.
Hey all, Jonathan from Go2 Health. Let me ask, how do you sustain your energy throughout the day? I try to do it with the morning cup of coffee and then one in the afternoon as a pick-me-up, and of course my daily vitamins. But what if I told you I was trying something new that's working for me just great? It provides me with sustained energy and focus, with caffeine for alertness, but balanced by amino acids and taurine to prevent jitters or crashes. It also has a blend of B vitamins, L-carnitine, and choline to power my energy and mental clarity, even if I didn't get the best night's sleep. It's also packed with vitamins A, C, and E to support my immune health, even with my days of packed schedules. And it's sugar-free and what I'll call flavor-forward. I alternate between 3 delicious flavors, mandarin orange, mango strawberry, and fruit punch. Just 1 small scoop of mix in 8 ounces of water and I'm done. Boom, off to the races. This formula boasts 32 years of brand expertise and thousands of 5-star reviews from millions of users. And it's a woman-owned company. What's this product I'm yakking about? It's called Spark Energy Plus Focus from Advocare. Spark Energy Plus Focus. For Go2 Health listeners, I've scored 30% off and free shipping. Go to drinkspark.com and use code GO2Health at checkout. That's code GO2Health at drinkspark.com. Let's tackle the day together with Spark Energy Plus Focus. I know you just said it, but tell me again, what is a cytokine and what does it do?
Yes. So a cytokine at the very basic level, we can think of it as a hormone signaler.
Okay.
And it is something that's released. We have loads of cytokines in the body, but it is a signal that's released to help start a cascade, or sometimes it is a reaction to the start of a cascade. I like to think of it almost as a second domino. The first domino would be an injury, for example. And then the second domino are these cytokines are released. And the cytokines then trigger the immune response to happen or signal certain immune cells to respond and some to not respond.
Right. Got it. Thank you for that. So you're talking about imbalances. Let's talk about hormone imbalances. And do those feed perfectionism, food gut issues?
They can. Absolutely. So with hormones as well, there's so many different types. I think a lot of people, when they hear hormones, they think about the reproductive hormones like estrogen, testosterone,
yes,
progesterone. And those can affect the microbiome 100%. They can also be related to the perfectionism piece. But I also want to broaden our horizons a little bit and remember that hormones can also be thyroid hormone and adrenal hormone. And those especially can be very related with the cortisol picture. And when the adrenals are out of balance and when the thyroid is out of balance, those can cause feelings of anxiety. They can cause feelings of stress, which then trigger more of that cortisol to be in play. And along with all of this, it ends up being a cycle of Does it start with the hormones being out of balance, or does it start with this perfectionism mindset? And we're seeing that it is a continuum.
Wow. So hormones being out of balance can actually cause us stress.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Interesting.
The poor people, because they're already having a stress with the hormones being out of balance, but it can cause more.
Got it. Okay. So let's go back to talking about perfectionists a little bit more. And thank you for the explanation of the physiology of all this. But how does a perfectionist struggle with food anxiety? And what are the signs that someone's relationship with food has crossed from healthy into perfectionist territory? How can we know that that's happened?
So I always like to think of that food noise of, if you're constantly thinking about, what should I eat next? When should I eat? Is this the right thing? Should it be better? Is this the wrong thing? That can be a sign of there might be a tipping point of, maybe this isn't so healthy anymore, or it's maybe too healthy and it's taking up a lot of mental space. Now, as a fellow foodie, I love food. I love thinking about food. But when it comes to the point of, am I eating for checking the boxes instead of, am I eating for joy, nourishment, and social well-being? I think that's a very important clue.
Got it. So how does somebody let go of this perfectionism, or how does somebody let go of this food noise that you're talking about? What are some of the ways that we can help people?
And this is where I love bringing it back to the physiology, because we as humans, we've got parts and pieces, and we have to look at the physical parts, but there's also the mental, emotional part. And if we were to ignore that, I think that we're ignoring a huge part of what it means to be human. So when I help people with this reversing food noise or recovering perfectionism, we look at the microbiome to see, are there some signals that could be contributing to this vicious cycle? Same with hormones. Is there something off balance that could be contributing to perfectionistic tendencies? And a lot of times, maybe people are constitutionally driven towards wanting to be perfect, but a lot of times those perfectionism tendencies start from a place of trying to be well, trying to be in somewhat of a survival mode. A lot of people that I work with are dealing with chronic digestive issues, and they've developed this very strict diet for themselves because that's the only food that feels good. So we look at those physical pieces first. Let's look at the gut. Let's look at the hormones. And then we rewire the gut-brain connection when it comes to the emotional and mental pieces.
Interesting. This sounds like fascinating work. Let's cover your website and what people can learn when they go there. It's QC Natural Health. QC Natural Health. And QC stands for what, doctor?
It has a dual meaning. So when we first started, we were in this little town, a little area called the Quad Cities. So QC can stand for that. But since we've become a wider audience, it now stands for quality care.
Quality care. Okay, so QCNaturalHealth.com. So what will people see when they visit your website?
There are loads of free resources on the website. We've got a free masterclass all about the gut and hormones and how to reset those. We've got blog posts all about the microbiome and healthy eating, but eating without perfectionism. So plenty of things on there. And then usually once a month, we offer a free event as a webinar. So if people are interested in any of those free resources, I would love for them to take a look.
Great. And do you see people virtually, or do you only see, where is your office located, by the way?
Yeah, so we still have a little brick and mortar in the Quad Cities, but most
the Quad Cities is where? I don't know where that is.
Most people don't. It's in the middle of America, right on the border of Illinois and Iowa.
Got it. Okay. And then you have a second place now?
Yeah, so I'm in the Bay Area in California, and I see people mostly virtually. Great. So anywhere in the US is good for us. But if people do want to be seen in person, we do have that brick and mortar place.
Got it. Good. So let's talk about one simple thing. What's one compassionate step someone can take today to start breaking the cycle if they feel like they've got this food noise or they're in this perfectionist cycle? What's a step they can take to help themselves?
I love this question. I think we need more compassion in our world in all spheres. So one thing that we can do every day, especially because most of us are eating every day. You might be doing a fast or something like this, but one thing that we can do is tie a habit with meal times. And when we're eating something, instead of labeling the food as a good food or bad food, to practice pausing before we eat and describe the food with a non-judgmental adjective. So, for example, saying, this is crunchy. This is salty. This reminds me of my childhood. Thinking of something that is a clear, non-judgmental, very compassionate way to think about how we eat can be a good practice to start with.
Good. So are there any questions that I didn't ask that I should have, Doctor, or what kind of big message would you like to leave with people today?
Well, thank you so much for this conversation and for the thought-provoking questions. I think we covered a lot of it. The one piece, though, that I get a lot of questions about is, what about probiotics? Should people take a probiotic or should they not? There are different camps, of course. My opinion on it is probiotics are excellent for helping to increase signaling for short term, especially if you've been traveling or you're having some bowel changes. Maybe you're just wanting to clear up a skin thing. Taking probiotics for a short period of time could be very helpful. However, in the long term, building your own diverse microbiome through a variety of foods, a variety of fiber and prebiotics can be an even better way to have a diverse and healthy microbiome, decrease inflammation, and help with this gut-brain connection.
And what's a prebiotic? How do I know what a prebiotic is? Give us some examples.
So a prebiotic, as at the scientific level, is the step before a probiotic. So it is quite literally the food that helps to create more of a diverse microbiome.
Got it.
Oftentimes in the bacteria sphere. But we can get a prebiotic through food. Things that are resistant starches. I don't know if you've heard this trick, but if you have potatoes and you cook potatoes, but then you put them in the refrigerator and then eat them the next day, that turns it into a resistant starch, which is a prebiotic. So we can get loads of these things through food. So cold potatoes, cooked and cooled starches, green bananas, ground flaxseed, pomegranate seeds. A lot of these have prebiotic components that can be wonderful for the microbiome.
Good. I'm going to have to do some research on prebiotics because I know very little about them, but thanks for the guidance here. Is there information about prebiotics on your website?
There is. Yes, definitely go take a look and let me know which ones you try.
Okay, I will do that. So again, you can visit qcnaturalhealth.com. Dr. Wolbers has a lot of free information there. She's also got webinars you can join. And do you have any paid programs where you help people? Because I know you see people virtually.
We do. We've got 2 paid programs that are absolutely wonderful for helping to hit the reset button. So they're called the Metabolic Reset and the Holistic Reset. The Metabolic Reset is people that are wanting to have more information about their metabolism and see some data in real time over a month of what is their metabolism doing. And then how can we bring in that healthy dose of compassion while seeing all these patternings so that we can find what works for them on a nutrition level, but also bringing in that softness and sweetness.
Good. I like the balance. I think that's very important, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Good. Thanks so much for being with us today, Doctor. It's been great to be with you. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Same here, Jonathan. Thank you so much.
Sure. We've been talking with Dr. Emily Wolbers. She's a naturopathic doctor specializing in gastrointestinal health and the gut-brain connection at QC Natural Health. And you can find her at qcnaturalhealth.com. She's recognized as a top naturopathic doctor in the U.S. She's been teaching yoga and mindfulness since 2013 and presents on Mind Body Medicine internationally. She brings warmth, as you can tell, to both her clinical care and the stage, integrating her expertise in gut health with her passion for yoga, meditation, and holistic health through an evidence-based lens. I love the evidence basis. Thank you for that, Doctor. Good. You can visit her at qcnaturalhealth.com. Emily, it's been great to be with you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. And thank you, listeners. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Great. This has been Jonathan Marks with Go to Health. You can visit us and subscribe at gotohealthmedia.com. You can also listen to us or watch us on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. And if you do, please leave us a 5-star review or a thumbs up. That will help us get the word out to more people. This has been Jonathan Marks with Go to Health. And as we say at the end of every show, go to health. God bless. Take care. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in today to Go to Health. You are one of almost 10,000 people per day who enjoy the evidence-based health information offered by our guest health experts. You can watch us on our website and YouTube and listen to us on 8 podcast networks. Be sure to join Jonathan Marks in our upcoming shows each week. If you like our show, please share this episode with your friends and colleagues. You can subscribe to the show, join our email list, send us feedback, browse through the online store, and view our library of over 150 shows at gotohealthmedia.com. See you next time, and remember to elevate your life with Go to Health.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Struggling with weight loss? Prolon's 5-day fasting mimicking diet is a clinically developed nutrition program designed to promote fat loss while protecting lean body mass. Developed at USC's Longevity Institute, it assists the body in entering a fasting-like state that helps reset metabolism and target visceral fat. In just 5 days, Prolon offers a science-backed approach to weight loss without extreme restriction or guesswork. Get 15% off plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe at prolonlife.com/now.